Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to our WebEx session. I am Kalman Makay from the channel team, and on today I will moderate our events. The WebEx session's topic is aligning strategy and execution with ValueOps. Our special guest and the presenter is Piyush Vacchani, our dedicated product professional. He will guide you on today, and in the next 60-90 minutes on the presentation and on the demo level, Piyush will share you the details of the planned topic. The event, as always, will be recorded, and later we will share the recording with you. If you have any question, then please use the chat window, everybody muted. But if you raise your hand, we can unmute you and you can ask verbally. Piyush, the stage is yours. And be careful because you are muted.
All right, guys. Yeah, I was talking on mute. All right. So, guys, I want to check with you. You guys can hear me, okay?
Yes, we heard you.
Great. So, guys, thank you again for joining me today. My name is Piyush Vacchani. I'm the practice manager responsible for the enterprise software portfolio across Middle East, Turkey, and Africa region. And today we will be going through ValueOps, and how ValueOps is going to align strategy and execution, right? Because every customer has some strategy and some execution level mechanisms. So how are we going to be aligning it so to reduce the waste, and what are the objectives we're going to achieve? What are the use cases? So today we will be discussing a lot of items today, and if you have any questions, feel free to send it over chat. I will take a pause and then I will answer them as we go along. Okay, so with that, let's get started. So today, as I mentioned earlier, just to reiterate on that. So in agenda, we actually have introduction to the enterprise software, because ValueOps is part of our enterprise software, a suite of products. We will deep dive into the challenges that that the customers have when they are doing doing digital transformation, and the main thing is going to be ValueOps by Broadcom. So what's our offering to solve these challenges? And we will come down to the topic, right, where we all started with strategy and execution alignment. What's the journey? And then we will go through a high level demo of our solution, so so that you can have an idea of how the strategy and execution are aligned together. Okay, so with that, I will be starting it. So guys, before I jump down, so the people who are new, who don't know about Broadcom, so Broadcom is heritage of innovation. So Broadcom is traditionally a semiconductor company. Broadcom creates chipsets for for phones like Apple or Samsung and all these worldwide vendors. It creates chips, and these chips are used across mobile phones and different devices, right? But Broadcom actually acquired CA Technologies in 2018, and that's how the enterprise software division, agile operations division, came into the picture. And that was the first time Broadcom get into the software business. And then in 2019, Broadcom acquired Symantec. So the cybersecurity software actually came with the Symantec acquisition of Broadcom. And then in 2023, Broadcom acquired VMware, and that's how the infrastructure and cloud software came into the Broadcom software portfolio. But today, the ValueOps is part of the CA Technologies, the enterprise software portfolio that we will be going through, right? If we talk about the enterprise software portfolio, we are talking about helping customers doing innovation and operation, right? So innovation, customer has innovation journey, customer has operations journey, customer are doing planning, customers are doing development, customers are doing testing, and customers are doing operations, right? But everything actually starts with an idea, and then the ideas, when they bring into life, they actually will deliver outcomes to the customers, to the organizations. And it doesn't matter, if you are a government customer, if you are a private customer, if you're a bank, if you're a telco, if you're a healthcare, if you're a university. So doesn't matter, everyone goes through this cycle, from ideas to the outcomes. And during this cycle, what we have seen, that customers are using different softwares, different types of softwares. So the softwares are used for planning, for project management. The software is used to do development, to do testing, and the softwares are getting used to run the IT operations, right? So during this tool chain that we call agile operations tool chain or value chain, this tool chain, the Broadcom enterprise software provides, has a big portfolio, and it provides a lot of software in this area. Okay, but today we will be only going into the ValueOps portfolio. So it'll that's actually our focus today, and how we will be overcoming the digital transformation challenges. So when actually we are talking about digital transformation, we are talking about two areas. We are talking about business transformation and infrastructure transformation. So these are the two areas Broadcom provides software for. And when we say business transformation, we are talking about if any of your customers are adopting agile as an example, or value stream management, or they are becoming more collaborative, and they are going into funding teams, instead of funding the projects. We cater to those customers also. But if the customer is using some industrial style, some legacy type of projects or programs, where actually they have different business units, they have different departments, they have a chain of leaders and middle management and executives, basically for the for the approvals of any type of projects or any type of plans. We support those as well, right? Maybe the customer is in that journey, or maybe some of the departments are digital, some of the departments are industrial or hybrid. Broadcom software would help with this transformation. Okay, and Broadcom software also would help with the infrastructure transformation. So if the customer is adopting software defined networks, they're going from a legacy based traditional network to software defined networks, or the customer is going from legacy proprietary style to open an internet based network, or internet based services, or internet based applications, SaaS applications, adopting cloud. All this transformation journey is also supported by Broadcom. So customers will achieve that journey, but Broadcom will help accelerate that journey. So that's actually our thing is in the transformation. So these are the two areas. I think today we would be focusing more on the business side. This is on the value ops side, right? So before actually we talk about value ops, right, we need to talk about the challenges, right, that the customer face. So customer, what we see is they have lack of visibility, alignment, and efficiency. So what happens at the customer is, you have a high level, CEO, CIO level people, executive level, the portfolio manager, these C-level people, these executives, they have no clue of what products are getting launched, what programs or what projects are being delivered. Or even if they have visibility, there is no alignment, there is no link between the strategy objectives, and there is no linkage between the projects and the programs that you're doing. So they actually are not sure, the C-level, are they even funding the right projects? Are they delivering even the value, right? They have no clue that which people are working on what type of projects, right? Which projects people are working on, what the objectives they are achieving, what are the KPIs are they achieving. So the C-level doesn't have that visibility. If you go to that, and if you actually want to look at the department level, or if you want to look at the business unit level, they have no clue. And they also don't have a clue that if you people at the execution level, are they prioritizing the right projects, are they prioritizing the right programs or right tasks. So the prioritization is not there, and the metrics that they want to see, they are unable to see. or by the time they're seeing the metrics or the KPIs, the data may be obsolete, because maybe they're relying on an Excel sheets, or they're relying on some legacy applications. It doesn't have too much information to be provided. So there is a gap basically. And then when you look at teams of teams, so teams of teams are basically your architects or resource managers or product managers. You can think about them as a middle management. So they actually also don't know how they're going to balance their resources, how they're going to do an efficient planning, how are the right people building the right things, or wrong people building the right things, or right people building the wrong things. So they don't have visibility in on getting things built, because the top level they think about value. The C level, they think about the value, how the value is created, how the alignment is created. But the middle management or the teams of teams, that did we even get it built, and did we build the right things, did right people build the things, right? So they actually run into these challenges of the alignment, right? And when the teams or delivery people, when they're doing development, either they are doing waterfall, or are they're doing sprints, they have some pipeline, so are they even focused on building right things, or they're just building and building? So these three levels of people should have an alignment, should have a visibility, and also efficiency on delivering the right things, and building the right things at the right time, and looking at the right value, right? So that's the challenges actually we come across here. And one of the reason we see these challenges is because the customers may be using too many tools, or half of the things are manual, half of the things are automated, right? So because of this, it creates a lot of challenges, right? And if the company is bigger, it's even more difficult, because there are too many teams and there are too many departments, they're doing their own thing, right? And there is no alignment or no visibility. So basically, if I cut it short, and if I want to summarize it, there is business people, they want to look things from a business lens. And then there is people from execution, they want to look at from the execution lens. So business lens is all about getting the value, making sure the strategy is articulated, making sure that prioritization is done, maximum effectiveness, maximum efficiency is delivered, right? And getting the insights, right? And execution is all about making sure the things are built correct, and things are aligned with the goals, or with the strategy of the business, right? So these are the two lenses basically value stream management or value ops provides it, right? So if I actually go into value ops, right? We know the challenges. We know there is a misalignment. We know when you're executing, we see the waste. We see that maybe building wrong things, or building wrong people, built by wrong people. We don't want that to happen, right? So that's where the value ops comes in picture. So Broadcom Value Ops provides visibility, alignment, and efficiency all together. So how it provides the visibility? First, it provides the visibility on different levels. So if you want to have a visibility on a project level, that if my project is running smooth, or if my project is delayed, or if my project is in a these things you get out from value ops, right? So on a project level, you will be able to get the visibility and alignment, or on a portfolio level. So if you're a portfolio manager, you want to look at the portfolio of the projects and how they're aligned, and what's the visibility, and how efficiently it's being delivered. So you see that in value ops. If you are a program manager, and if you have a bunch of projects that actually you call it a program, and if you want to monitor your programs, if you're running a cloud transformation program, or if you're running some initiative, right, where you have programs, so you can measure, you can monitor the programs. If let's say the programs or projects or products needs people, let's say I need 50 Java developers or 10 machine learning engineers, so we can have visibility and alignment on the people level also. So which resource, what are they working on? Are they working on July, in August, in September? How many hours are they working on, or how many days are they working on which project, or which program, or which product? You have that visibility, you have that alignment, and you have that, and you can measure the efficiency. You can measure the efficiency of the resources by seeing, are they delivering things on time? Are they delaying it, right? Are they productive? Are they not productive? So these types of things you are able to do in value ops, right? And then any piece of work, if you call it a product managed product, so if you're developing or building products, or if you have some initiatives, that you're going to be launching and that you would be starting. So if you want to associate that initiative to some kind of funds, maybe you were able to get some funds, from capex and opex funds for that initiative, for that demand. You can tie that with this one, so you have visibility on the funding level, on the people level, on the project level. But we don't want to limit ourselves into that, right? So Broadcom ValueOps also provides visibility, alignment, and efficiency on the strategy level. So if a company has a long-term strategy or a short-term goals, which we call objectives, so you can measure them. You can measure the OKRs with the objective key results. You can link these OKRs with the strategy. You can link these projects with the strategy or OKRs, right? And at the end of the day, if you want to monitor on a strategy, on the objective, on the people, on the cost, on the product, all are available in ValueOps. So if I cut it in short, if I would like to summarize this, if you want to build your strategy, you use ValueOps. If you want to make plans, do planning cycle, how you're going to achieve that strategy, you use ValueOps. And if you want to do the execution cycle, where you're executing the tasks, or putting your time, prioritizing your tasks, or prioritizing your portfolio of projects, you do that in ValueOps. So these three areas is where ValueOps provides all the use cases. And we are using AI also to do, writing some kind of business case, or writing some kind of status report or objective document. All these is baked into our solution, which we call ValueOps. Okay, so I'm gonna take a pause now and see, Kalman, if there are any questions so far from what we have seen, or any other questions.
No question, Kim.
Great. So guys, keep it coming. So what we get out of ValueOps, right? As I also want to highlight it, ValueOps is not just the project management software. You can manage projects, you can run projects, you can have visibility, alignment on the projects, but don't hang up only on the project level. You can do the resource management, you can do the initiatives, you can do the strategy management, you can do the portfolio management, you can do the agile program management. All these different things you are able to do it in ValueOps, right? These are some examples of what you get out of it, right? So as I mentioned, we can do project management, but we also go beyond project management. So in this example, what you see over here, if you want to measure your objectives, what's your yearly objectives, what's your quarterly objectives, maybe you are a salesman and you need to sell, so your objective is all about selling. But if you're a finance guy, your objective is all about to control spending, or your objectives are to make sure you're spending the money at the right place. So these types of objectives, these types of outcomes, you can measure it in ValueOps, and you can see these are some dashboards that you will see here, and you can see the link between your strategy and your objectives and your outcome, right? So that's what you do. The other type of sample that you see over here, that dashboard that you see over here, where which initiative is costing you how much you have already spent the money on this month or this quarter or this year, where actually is your money going, which goals are you supporting, which strategy are you supporting, which initiatives are you launching, so you can have all that visibility in ValueOps, right? And especially when you look at a bigger organization where the data is siloed in multiple departments and it can go obsolete, and it's difficult to get the data and slice and dice for those organizations. So looking at a high level, holistic level provides a big value, on this. And also, if I want to look at the team level, if my team is building the right things, or if my team is aligned with the initiative or the portfolio, or which agile sprint are they in, right? What are they delivering things on time and building the right things? So these types of team view also, you can see what they're working on and their timelines and things like that, right? So this is another example. The other example that you see over here is product management. So if you have OKRs, which is objectives and key results from a product perspective, if you're building products, or if you're launching products, or if you're upgrading products, you have some goals and you are able to track these goals from a product perspective, or not just from the project perspective. So these are the things that you see. But you may ask, we are talking value ops, right? Value ops means value, providing value in your operations, right? So that's what basically we are doing. But what does it consist of? But before even I start, there is Broadcom has a long journey. So when Broadcom acquired CA, CA acquired Clarity or Niku Clarity, back in early 2000s. That's how the software came in. Even the CA acquired Raleigh, which is the another part of the value ops that it acquired. And Broadcom acquired ConnectAll in 2023. So ConnectAll and Insights actually came in 2023 acquisition. So if you look at this journey where actually the value stream management, the value ops come, it came from 1990s basically. That's where we are today. And it is consisting of 4 different softwares, right? The number one software, a subscription, how you want to call it, is Clarity. Okay, from the name itself, Clarity, it provides you a clear-cut vision, clear-cut mission, and clear-cut initiatives, clear-cut projects. So it provides you full visibility, alignment, and efficiency on projects or demand or program level, right? So who uses Clarity? There are multiple people actually, they come in and they use it, right? So the planning people use Clarity, the PMO, the project management staff, project management office use Clarity. The enterprise project management staff, they use this Clarity, right? The strategy people, they use Clarity, right? But if you look at some of these examples that you are seeing over here at the top, are the typical Clarity users. So a project manager is one of the most important users of Clarity. These people, they're gonna come into Clarity and they're gonna put projects in Clarity. So either they can use Microsoft projects to import them, they can create them, they can use templates, but at the end of the day, they will spin up, they will create multiple projects, and they will track multiple projects. So if the projects comes from an IT department or from a digital transformation department, from an operational department, from a strategic department, from finance or any business unit, they will come, these project managers will come and they will track their projects, monitor their projects in Clarity. Okay, then the other type of people that we come across is the resource manager. So these people, they will find people, they will find resources. So if they need 5 developers or 10 machine learning engineers, or if they need some Java developers, if they need some sales people, some business analyst people, some marketing people, some channel people, based on the skill sets, they're going to be staffing and scheduling people. So they can say, if the I have assigned 50 hours or 100 hours, or I've assigned this task. So the resource manager is going to be doing staffing and scheduling in Clarity, right? Then we have the finance manager. So anything related to the money, adding cost, capex, opex, different types of cost on an initiative, on a project, on a program level. These people will be allocating, if it's $1 million projects or 50K project or 100K project in your currency, in multiple currencies. If it's a fixed time project, if it's a time and material project, does not matter. These people will go, they will allocate money in the project level or the product or program level. Then you have the developers. They're going to come in and they're going to put their time in there, and they're going to put their tasks in there. So let's say if I'm a developer, or if I'm an engineer, or if I'm an analyst, or if I'm an agent, or if I'm an architect, right? They will come. These people will come. They'll say, I'm done with 20%. My 20% task done, my 80% task done, my 100% task done. So task management, these people, they will use. And also they will use time management. So they will say, okay, I finished 10 hours delivering a job. I finished 100 days, doing an implementation and configuration. So these types of people will come and they will enter time and tasks in Clarity, right? And then we have people like program managers. So they're going to come into Clarity and they're going to run programs, and they're going to monitor programs, and they're going to, report on the program level. So when I say programs, that means they are mega projects, or they are like multiple projects grouped together and call it a program. So you look at from a holistic perspective, higher perspective, not just the project perspective. So these people will use Clarity. And last but not the least is executive. At many times the customer says we need too many approvals. We need an approval to do a sign off to go to the next stage. We need an approval to get more funding. We need an approval to get more budget. We need an approval to get more people. We need an approval to kill the project or add more stuff to the project or do a change request of the project or a program. So these people will approve or reject things in Clarity, more on the process side. So these are the people. And then Clarity is coming in two flavors. So if the customer wants to use on-prem or if they want to use software as a service, both options are on the table. And the power of Clarity, is with integrations. So Clarity, can be used by multiple departments, not just IT. But let's say if you have multiple departments or multiple groups, they're using their own software. Some people maybe use SharePoint, some may use Excel, some may use Microsoft Project, some may use Oracle, some may use SAP. So these are the different software that we see, that the customers use, either for financing or for work breakdown structure or for task management. So you are able to do all these things in Clarity. You don't need to go outside Clarity. Clarity basically is a one-stop shop to do all your strategy, planning, and execution use case. And as I mentioned, the power is integration. So Clarity can integrate with any third-party software, right? So Clarity was number one. Then the second is Raleigh. That's the second software that is part of ValueOps. Raleigh is all about agile management. So if you want to run your agile projects, agile tasks, if you want to manage agile portfolio, Raleigh is the answer for you, right? And Raleigh and Clarity are integrated with each other. Clarity serves as a master, as a single pane of glass. So Raleigh is used by agile teams where they can do agile things, right? And they can manage their sprints and things like that. But connecting, strategy to delivery on an agile fashion is what Raleigh is all about. And Raleigh actually can provide planning and execution on an agile enterprise, right? If you have some departments, they want to use some agile projects, some wants to use legacy projects, you can do that. You can have tasks, you can have user stories, features, initiatives, whatever you want to call your layers, right? In agile, you do that in Raleigh. And timing is the most important thing in agile. So if you have the sprints defined, if you know your release cadences, you want to track your release, you want to track your iterations, you want to track your milestones from the agile and see which team is working on what, you do that in Raleigh. And release, are you up to date with the release? Is the release missing some items? Do we need to, because you cannot push the release. You see any unscheduled work, any planned work, any unplanned work, all these types of release, PI planning, you do that in Raleigh, right? So that's the second software in ValueOps. The third one is called Connect All. Connect All provides connections or integrations of Clarity and Raleigh with third-party world. So for example, if you want to connect, let's say Clarity with some Azure DevOps, or if you want to connect Raleigh with some other Jira or some other software, you are able to do that. If you want to connect, let's say Clarity with GitHub. So Connect All provides you the integration with third-party, and it has more than 70 plus adapters. These adapters basically, you don't need to write any code. It's no code, low code type of platform where it provides connections to bring in any type of data from third-party different softwares. Doesn't matter if it's if it's a push, if it's a pull, you are able to do that. You are able to connect your enterprise. So in this example, you can see, we are connecting Salesforce with Clarity and ServiceNow with Clarity. That with have Raleigh connected with GitHub or Trentis or Sonar or ServiceNow, we can do that. So it doesn't matter if you want to do it in planning, on testing, on release, your connections are done inside the Connect All. And as I mentioned, 70 plus adapters are already there, and you can create your own adapter by using Universal Connector, right? And there is JDBC, ODBC connector. So there are multiple connectors available to build your adapters, integrated, connect with third-party applications. Okay. So that's the third software. The last software is called ValueOps Insights. Insights is basically nothing but an analytics tool. It can take the metrics from multiple different solutions, right? For example, a work management solution or a product management solution or a project management solution, time management solution, security management, ITSM. It takes the data from these solution. It comes with a data warehouse where you can take the data from multiple sources and provides you the analytics, provides you the metrics, which is related to the business. If it's related to the project, if it's related to the user, if it's related to the hierarchy, if it's related to the state, does not matter what your metric is all about. You will get that, through that connection of ValueOps Connect All, right? And just to highlight, it's a business intelligence solution. It's an analytics solution where you see dashboards, where you can make reports, where you can monitor them, and it's more from the business side, right? It's a highly customizable. There are a lot of out-of-the-box dashboards that's coming in picture. You have alerts and notification engine, right? And you can manage your users who see what, right? So these are, guys, 4 different softwares that actually we see here. We have it in ValueOps, right? Delivering different values. Now I will just take a pause and see, are there any questions so far before I move on to the next thing?
No
Guys,
question,
even if you have
Ken?
any comments or questions, feel free
No.
to do that.
Yes, yes.
Feel free to ask.
No question came. No question came actually.
Okay, all right. All right, guys. So now actually I will just talk about the use cases and then we'll go to the demo. So when we talk about the use cases, as I mentioned, Clarity, you use it for project, but not just for the project. So definitely, we have these different angles. We have project management, idea management, portfolio management, task management, time management, staffing, scheduling, product management, all these different things, contracts, agreements. Actually, you can name your work in Clarity, so this is something that you're able to do, or you can name your work in ValueOps basically, and you can track that in those. Okay. All right, so now we need to do alignment, right? We talked about the strategy, we talk about planning, and we talk about execution, and then let's see how we're going to be aligned, right? So let's start with the strategy first, right? We need to build the strategy. So when we build strategy in Clarity and also in ValueOps, we are defining the question,
Sorry, my fault. I mute myself.
Okay, no problem. All right, so guys, what we do in Clarity is every customer have their own vision, they have their own goals, long-term goals, they have short-term goals, they have strategy, they have objectives, their key results. So you do all of it in Clarity. If you heard about SMO, strategy management office, these people would be defining it. These people, this staff would be using it. They will be defining your objectives and vision, and it can change. If it changes, no problem, you change that in Clarity, right? So this can be done. And when we talk about strategy management, we are defining hierarchies. So if you have a company strategy, let's say you have a vision of 2030 or 2040 or 2032, whatever your vision is, and in that vision, what are the components of the vision, what you would be achieving, what's your long-term goal, and what projects and objectives you would be delivering and you would be launching, which is part of that strategy. So you can do that. And you can have this hierarchy on a strategy, on a project, on a program, on a portfolio. You can do that. So the data actually gets rolled up into the higher level. So that's how basically you build strategy. Another type of strategy we do is strategic roadmaps. So if I ask you what's going to be coming next year, what's going to be coming next quarter, what's going to be coming next month, what's going to be coming 2 years from now. So you define a roadmap of your, your company, your organization, and multiple roadmaps you can define, right? And you can link that project to a strategy, or you can link a project to a program on a roadmap or objective on this roadmaps. Basically, if you change your roadmap, you can do that, and you can see when you're defining a roadmap. Basically, if I ask you what's going to be coming in September, which projects you would be launching, what's going to be coming in 2026, what projects would be funded, which one would be budgeted for the next year, for the next quarter, if you have a yearly or quarterly budget cycle, you do that in Clarity. Basically, you don't need to go to any Excel or any third-party application. All this would be done in Clarity. But first, you need to build the strategy. Then you need to make plan how you're going to achieve the strategy. So planning cycle, you do it in ValueOps and Clarity. Here, what you do is you actually, the first thing in planning is where my money is going, where I'm going to be putting my money in there. I'm going to be buying it, an asset. I'm going to be launching this project. I'm going to be, having this capex. I'm going to be having this opex. So you will be, prioritizing your projects, your ideas, your work, and then you will be funding them. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? Maybe you will be having a security launch, maybe, by end of this year. You'll be doing a tech refresh, by early next year. So these types of finances you will allocate cost and fund in Clarity. right? That's the first thing when you do make a plan. The second thing that you make a plan is you need to manage your teams and people. Because if a project is going to be starting, I need the people to deliver those milestones and deliver those tasks. If I need, security, if I have a security tech refresh, or if I'm going to a cybersecurity program, and if I don't have security people or a team for the security, I will not be able to deliver it. That project would be failure or would be delayed. Similarly, if I'm adopting or launching an AI module or AI product or AI service, and I don't have enough AI engineers, it's going to be delayed, or it's going to be, there will be issue, right? There will be risk. So balancing the resources, finding the right people to do the right job, finding the right team to do the right job based on the workload, based on the availability, based on the geography, based on the skills, you do that in Clarity. Okay, so that's another thing that you do basically. When you're aligning it, you're aligning people to the work here. Also, when you're doing planning, you need to plan for the risk also. You need to plan if there is going to be risk in the future that's going to be delaying things down, that's going to be slowing things down, right? How are you going to be mitigating that risk? Can you even fix that risk? Can you mitigate it? Do you need to open a change request as an example, or CR or something like that? So these types of risk management, you can do it not just on the project level, but on the program level, on the strategy level, on OKR level, different levels you are able to do. So you do the risk in the planning cycle. But once you build your strategy, once you made your plan, then you're going to execute on that plan to achieve the strategy. So when you're executing, you are executing the right projects. You're executing the projects which is going to be linked with the strategy, which is going to be linked with some goals, right? Which is going to provide some benefits, which is going to provide some value, realize some value. So these projects you would be launching, you would be tracking, you will be monitoring, you will be seeing if you how much budget you have spent, how much effort you have spent, did you meet your milestone, what you did not meet, is it delayed, is there a risk, is there a CR, is there a scope issue, is there an alignment issue, what issue is there, and are you going to mitigate and fix those issues and run your projects? That's how you're going to execute. Second thing is tasks. Each project has so many tasks. It's a waterfall task, it's an agile task. If the task is 10% done or 90% done or 99, 100% done, you do the task management in there. You approve tasks there, you fulfill tasks there, you enter your time against the task, you enter your percentage against the task, right? So you manage, monitor, track which task, which team is slowing you down, which team is doing things on time, right? And you take care of the delivery. So delivery means, did you deliver this milestone? Did you deliver this phase? Are you in short? So are you looking to spend how much money on this quarter, next quarter? So these types of delivery, these types of to-do list deadlines, you are maintaining and monitoring also in ValueOps and Clarity. But also you do scoreboards. So scoreboards is basically a way to check the productivity. Which team is slowing the project down, which person is slowing the project down, which team is delivering things ahead of time, which resource is doing good. So you can keep track of the productivity, you can keep track of the utilization, or from a people level or from a team level. So this is something that you also can do. Again, you're executing. So you're executing and you're measuring the productivity, your efficiency also. But what if the work has to be done by multiple departments, multiple teams? So we can create collaborative work inside ValueOps where we can track, where we can assign multiple teams, multiple people, we can tag people, and we can personalize the work. So if there is some kind of checklist, smart list, I have, let's say, a calendar, I see I need to deliver this change, or I need to complete this task, or I need to fix this defect, do whatever type of job that you need to do. So you can personalize your work also inside that ValueOps, and you can share it. Let's say you want to share it with your manager, you are done with the work, or you want to share with the program manager, and you want to engage someone, right? So you can do that. You can share your work in there, and you can tag teams, and you can attach documents, do things like that, instead of writing an email, and checking when I wrote this email, what attachments did we posted, which links we posted. You do not need to do that. All this work would be done inside the Clarity itself. Then agile works. So let's say if you're using agile tool like Raleigh or some any other agile tool, you can connect that with Clarity. So all your agile items or non-agile items, agile projects, non-agile projects, initiatives, agile, non-agile, you will see, you will track it in one pane of glass, right? So you can connect Clarity with Raleigh or any other third-party agile systems and do that. And you can do time management. So if you want to enter your time, so 8 hours you were doing some rollout, 10 hours you were doing some implementation, some consolidation, some architect work, some design work. So you can keep track of your billable and non-billable time also in there, right? So now this is a new add-on. This has been added only a couple of quarters ago, and this is the AI part. So ValueOps also has an agent. It's called Vaya. It's an AI agent. And this agent provides visibility, alignment, and efficiency as well, right? So when we talk about AI agent, we are talking about integrating this agent, AI Via agent, with third-party LLM solutions. For example, we are integrating with OpenAI, Gemini, and Copilot from Microsoft. And what we are doing is, in case if you want to summarize a project, if you want to build a status report, right? Why the humans need to do that? So we actually have integrated our Via AI engine with these different LLMs, right? AI LLMs, where we are able to write an objective document, a business case document, a status report, right? Summarize a project, right? Summarize a roadmap, summarize the strategy. So you are able to use the AI to make it simpler for the users, to see and consume the information. Either it's related to the project or the strategy or the execution. So this is something that we actually have started now. So if I need to provide the value proposition, right, it's a one-stop shop. So you do not need to buy a planning software, an execution software, a strategy software, an agile software, right? You don't need to buy these 5, 6, 7 different softwares. All would be provided to you by ValueOps. So it's a one-stop shop for all strategy planning and execution use case. So if your customer says, I want to manage my strategy and plans and portfolio, you propose this solution. If they say, I want to build my products, I want to monitor my product lifecycle, digital products, you do that. If the customer says, I want to do work management, you can propose this software. Or the traditional PPM, project portfolio program management solutions, of course, you do that. Agile management, value stream management, these are the different areas where actually you can use this software. And it's very simple software. It's a very easy to use software, easy to use, and it's very powerful. So you can slice and dice the data very easily and in real time. So you don't need to worry about the data getting old, right? So that's the value proposition. It's loved by customers. There are many customers, using worldwide. If you are a manufacturing or a telco a company, people use this software, and there are many. This is again just a partial client list. Many different companies in the world, they're using this software. All right, the reviews are amazing. So if you pick any latest reports that comes out from Gartner or Forrester or GigaOM or different vendors, right, IDC, you will find us in the leader quadrant, right? Top right is what you're going to be seeing it. It doesn't matter if it's going to be strategy management or portfolio management, you will see that, right? We are leaders. If you will look at the agile planning or agile project or agile portfolio, you will find us in the leader. We are one of the only couple of vendors where we are leader in each and every quadrant that you will see, right? And you can see this is from GigaOM and also from Research in Action. I believe the 2025 also came out just a few weeks ago, and there also we came out as leader, right? So as you can see here, the reviews are amazing, the customer list is amazing. In this environment, in this part of the world, actually are related to strategy, planning, and execution, and deliver these use cases, right? So it's an enterprise platform, and as you can see, there are many use cases which we actually went through some of them that you can use it, for analytics or for program management, for team management, for strategy, for business. But at the end of the day, you will be getting alignment, right? You will be doing accelerating the digital transformation. You will be doing better digital transformation as your customers. So guys, that's all I want to cover today, and I will go to the demo now. But I just want to check with you guys if are there any questions so far.
Yes.
Yes.
Question came that how Clarity facilitate the visualization of individual projects and thus contribute to the overall organizational strategy.
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So clarity provides you the visibility, the dashboard, the reports on a project level, which we will be covering in the demo. So each project you are able to track them, right? Each project you are able to track. You are able to monitor that if this project is slow, is it not aligned, if there is any risk. So on a project level, you are able to track, you are able to monitor. Also on a program level, you are able to do that. On a portfolio level, you are able to do that. Or if you want to look it into the strategy level, you are able to do that. So all these levels, since the data is already in clarity, so you are able to run reports and dashboards in these different levels. I will be showing you more on the dashboard side, and report side. This will give you the idea of the KPIs that we can track. Okay, but we don't have the full KPIs, but at least some KPIs I would be able to show it in my demo environment. Yeah, good question. Any other questions, guys?
No other question.
All right. So guys, what we're going to do now is we will go through the high level demo of this this solution. Okay, I picked up Clarity because Clarity is actually the main. So out of the 4 software that you saw in ValueOps, I would suggest let all 100% of the customers, they buy Clarity, and then you have the customers they're taking and they're using, buying other different software. But Clarity, you can say, is the heart, is the main component of the ValueOps here in Broadcom, right? So that's why I picked up Clarity, and I want to show you the Clarity itself. So here, guys, first, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the project management, because this is something, the basic one, right? All the projects that you saw, right, earlier, as I was mentioning, needs to be tracked. So as you can see, project is on the execution level. So now we are talking about the execution. So you can see these are the different projects that I have. And you can see I'm seeing the start projects. But if I remove that start, I'm going to see all these different projects also, right? So here you can see the milestones, of each project, which milestones is completed, which phase gates are completed. You can also keep track of the KPIs, like which project is on track, which project needs help, how much money you have already spent, how much effort you have already spent on the project, right? Maybe you spend too much money but less effort, or too much effort but less money. So you can see that on a project, that how much percentage is spent, how much percent is remaining, when is the next milestone. So you can keep track of, let's say, different KPIs. But if you can see here, we are tracking of finish date or days remaining or next milestone. So depending on the type of the project, you can keep track. But here you can see the mix of the project, right? So let's say this project is all about developing a payments module. So it's more like a new product development type of project. You can see this is a managed service project. You can see this is an implementation project. There's a cybersecurity project, right? Audit project. There's a release project, right? There's a user experience enhancement project. So you can see, recruiting project, certification project, sales operation launch project, auditing project, so GDPR compliance projects, certification projects. If you are doing integration, or if you're doing acquisition of different company, you can run this as a project, as a work streams, right? If you're doing any marketing, if you're launching a trade show or something like that, right? You can see if you're doing migration, if you are providing IT networks or something like that. So just the different types and styles of the projects that you can see over here that we can do, we can manage. And here also you are able to see, it doesn't matter if it's an upgrade or if it's a compliance, these can be managed, right? So all these projects you can see on a high level. I can drill down into the details of that. So you will see that I can create the project from a new template, right? As you can see here, if I create it, you will see like a window where I would be able to create it from the template. Let me see why it's slow. Looks like I'm having some issue, but here you can see this is it. And then here you are able to see any push notifications. So if let's say there's a risk, if there's an action item that's assigned to you, you will be able to see that over here. But what you can see is if you want to drill down, you can just click on any of this one, let's say properties or something, and you will be able to drill down inside the project. But here you will see there are different what you call tiles. We are viewing the project as a tile over here, right? So since I clicked on it, you can see I was able to get inside the project, but I will go out, right? I want to show you different views also, other views. So if you want to just look at the project level, you can see these are the different types of projects, and I can highlight which projects I'm responsible for, or if the project you can see is on hold, you can highlight that in a yellow color or red color. So these type of things you can do, and you can have a mini dashboard, which we call widgets. So here, these are the different widgets. These are the mini dashboards where you can check the status of the projects. If you're waiting for the approval, if it's approved, how much is the cost, who owns the project, what are the top projects, is it a small, if it's a release, or what type of project. So you can have more or less widgets, or you can hide or unhide the widgets. It's up to you how you want to do it. So these things can be done. You can filter the projects. You can see this style of the project is on the Excel type of view. So here, if you're familiar, if you like the Excel view, you can see, the way that you actually go and you change, the Excel view. So from hold, if I'm going to say, let's say active or something like that, so I can go and I can change the way that I do it in Excel, right? I can do things like in Excel. So if I want to change the finish date, I can go and I can do that in here. So these types of things I'm able to do that, right? So, but if you are familiar, or if you like the board view, so board view is basically where you are able to see, let me see, maybe that I have here, probably. Let me see. Second. All right. So there's a board view also. I think there is some kind of issue that that I'm facing. Let me also just see, maybe I will show you board view. It looks like there's an issue over here, but here you can see, you can put the filter also, right? You are able to see the filter. The another type of view that we call is actually a timeline view. So this view basically will give you each project, and it will give you the timelines, right? And you can filter it by different timelines. So if you actually go and start, instead of, let's say, you want to do it monthly, instead of monthly you want to do it quarterly, so you will see now it's going to change from monthly to the quarterly view. So a timeline type of view you are able to see, and on a high level you can see the start date, finish date, the project name, and if you want to add more items, columns, so let's say if you want to add percentage complete, so as soon as I put percentage complete, you will see over here, this is the 60% complete, 20% complete. So you are able to see those types of things over here, right? So let me actually go to the another one where actually I have the board view configured. So here you can see this is the board view that we have, and here the one that I wasn't able to show you earlier, where you can see in the board which ones are let's say approved, which ones are not approved, and you can define the swim lanes, right? Maybe instead of the status, you want to put something else. Maybe you want to put owner. So these types of things you can do, and you can see each of them are color coded, and you can see what this color is all about. Maybe this is about delay, or this is about major project or something like that. So you are able to see these color, from the color coded, you can see them over here. Even if I go here, you can click on this legend, and from the legend you are able to see the colors, if it's on hold, which color, if it's complete, which color. So you can color code that, right? So now let me do one thing is I will go inside a project, right? I will go and I will show it to you. So I will go inside this able payments module. This is the project that I have. Here you will see that you can define the fields. For example, here we have the project name, the type of the project, the start date, end date, the objective. And here you can see I have the AI actions. So as I mentioned earlier, we can integrate this with Gemini or OpenAI, or Chat GPT. We are able to import integrate with the Copilot. So you are able to write the objective. So if you integrate it, if you say review, it's going to go and it's going to write an objective for you, right, based on that. So this is something that you are able to do. You can define the stakeholders, who are the stakeholder, what are the project details, what are the settings. So this is on a high level, on a nutshell you do. But if one of the gentlemen asked about the dashboard, the KPIs, so you can actually see these dashboard. So this dashboard, or this KPI that you see, is on a project level, right? This project is the cost, is the benefit, right? They have the task, there is the risk, there is the owners, there is thing. So it doesn't matter. You can keep track of different KPIs. If I select another view, another dashboard, you can see I'm tracking of different KPIs here. So you are able to do that from the project standpoint. If you want to upload any documentation related to the project, so you can do that, right? But at the end of the day, if you want to run a status report, if you want to see the status, the live status, so on a project level, you are able to do that. If you want to again integrate with the Chat GPT or any other, you can write a status narrative. But you will be able to generate the report, and you will be able to publish the status report, right? So instead of you writing it, you can just do it here. Of course there is error, so we can fix it, but this is on the project level. Similarly, I also want to show you, let's say for example, program level. So here, if you can see that I have different programs here, right? So I can show you a program, and I can show you all the projects inside the program. So this is the program, which is we call cloud transformation program, and all because let's say you are running a cloud transformation program and you have multiple departments, they're launching different projects. So you have a cloud migration team, you have an engineering team, you have a procurement and legal team, and you have a security team, right? Compliance team. So here, cloud team, they're running these projects, engineering are running these ones. But at the end of the day, the data needs to be rolled up into the program level. So I'm not just looking at one project, I'm looking at the program. So if I go to the program dashboard, now I'm seeing bunch of projects rolled up into a program. So here you can see all the project cost. Let's say you have 10 projects. All these 10 projects, if you add up, it's going to be is the cost. What's the status? What's the cost breakdown per department, right? Per business unit. What's the description? What's the start date, end date? So you are able to create the dashboard. You are able to see the dashboard, on a program level, not just on the project level. And if you want to see, let's say, for example, benefit, let's say you created another dashboard, and in this another dashboard, you want to show the benefit and how much you have realized that benefit, right? What are the financials, benefit? So you can track those benefits, you can track the financials of those benefits and things like that, right? But also we have another dashboard called objective analysis. So in some cases, the customer says, I'm using, let's say, Microsoft Power BI or Tableau or any other Click or any other type of dashboard. So you can embed Power BI or Tableau or any other types of dashboards over here. So here you are able to use Clarity dashboards, right? Or you are able to use any third-party dashboards or reporting tool where you can embed that information in Clarity. So this is an example of how you can run a program, right? Run it as a program level. The last example I would like to give you is actually on a portfolio level. So let's say you have a portfolio of your projects and initiatives. So I can go to this portfolio and I can see this is my portfolio, and in my delight customers goal objective, I am launching all these initiatives and projects. So I have Green IT initiative, I have this project, I have this project, I have this project. This all is part of my portfolio to drive revenue. This all is part of my portfolio to secure the enterprise. This all is part of my AI and analytics portfolio. So you can build your portfolio and you can link your initiatives, your projects, your programs, or your ideas with the portfolio, and you can track. You can track your portfolio, that which of the projects are in plan, which ones are not in plan, and you are able to keep track, right? We are able to keep track. So if you want to make make this one as part of in plan, you are able to do that. So this type of portfolio, you would be able to see that in Clarity, and you are able to see it from the timeline view, or you are able to see it in the Excel view, and you are able to actually report or build a dashboard against your portfolio. Right? So which of the items, and this is what we call roadmaps. And let's say in your portfolio of 2026, these are all your initiatives or all your ideas. So you are able to do IT portfolio, you are able to do some other portfolio. And also, let's say if you want to do a strategy and objective, so which strategy you have, let's say this is the strategy, you want to be sustainable, what are the objectives? And inside the objectives, which are the projects? So you are able to actually put that in a roadmap, and you're able to compare it, right? You're able to compare like before and after also in the roadmap, right? So this is something that you are able to do that, right? In the roadmap itself, right? Where you can do that. Level you are able to keep track and things like that, right? So guys, any other questions so far? Because I think I'm going to take 5 more minutes to go over a few more things, and then if you have any questions, guys, feel free to let me know. Because I know we started 5 minutes late, so we'll be doing 5 more minutes. But so far, any questions you guys have?
There is no question, Kim.
Right. So let me.
Sorry. Somebody raised his hand.
Yeah, sure. Let's unmute them. Let's unmute them.
Yes, I tried to do. But as I see, this is not possible.
Okay, so guys, can you send your questions over chat? It looks like there's an issue with mute.
Mahak, you can unmute yourself. So feel free to unmute and ask verbally.
Yeah, hi Piyush.
Yes, hi, Mehak.
Yeah, Piyush, I have a question. Like, how staffing and investment is done? Like, what are the key factors to be considered while we are staffing any project or any initiative?
Sure. Very good question. So let me actually show you very quickly. So if you can see over here, this is basically where we do the staffing and scheduling, right? This is one of the ways actually we do it, right? One of the ways we do it. So for example, let me go up and let me just hide this thing. So you basically actually have something what we call allocations, right? Allocations by investment, allocations by resource, assignment. So this is actually the place actually where we come and where we do the staffing and scheduling, right? So as you can see over here, actually, no, this is not the right one. Let me go to the, yeah, this is the right one. So here, what we have something called assignments by investment. So this is basically what we do. So lower, you're going to be seeing the resources which are available, right? And at the top, you would be seeing the projects or the programs or the portfolio. Yeah, so I think it was just slow. So here you would be seeing the list of all your investments or list of all your projects, list of all your programs. So basically, this is work and this is people who will be delivering the work. So the bottom is the resource and the top is the investment. And here you can see here, let's say if I'm going to go to, let's say, the able payments module, this is the one. I can see what type of people, what type of staff actually is needed. So I can see I need an AI developer. As you can see, I can see these are all I have, but also I need an AI developer, right? Something that I need to do that, right? So here I can see here if I have an AI developer or not. But here you are able to see these people are not available. So you need the AI developers, let's say, till 2025 September, right? But here you are unable to see them, right? Here you can see all of these people are busy. So here what you can do is, you can see the Ian is available, but Ian is a business analyst. It's not an AI agent or AI developer. Okay, so you actually can come in here and you can see that you have like for example, you have any of AI people, right? So here I can see these are the AI Ashley that I have, right? And I have just some of that, and these guys looks like they're available. So what I can do is I can just drag and drop here and I can allocate that. I can do it a partial or I can do a total, right? And I can use the investment date. When do I want to allocate? So I want to allocate from today. And let's say if I want to allocate it, I need it by end of September, for example. So I will just allocate it by end of September. And total means 100% allocated. Partial means it's going to be partially allocated. So if I'm going to replace it, so basically what you just did is you replaced, the AI developer with the people. So the bottom is where you will be finding the people, and the top is where you will be finding all your investments, and you will be staffing and scheduling. Okay, this is one of the ways of doing it. There are other ways, of doing it, like you can do it but you can go to the project and do it there, or you can just come in here and you can do it there if you want to do it for every project or program, right? So this is basically where we do it. So question, any other questions, guys?
Was a wish to demonstrate the rally also.
Rally, we can do it. We will have one more webinar, and we will do it only for the rally. We will do it only for the rally. We'll be doing that in the future, for sure, and we will do a presentation and demo of rally only. So that'll be coming. So stay tuned for those, right? Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Before I just want to just show one more thing. Okay.
Seems no additional question.
Okay. All right. So guys, the other thing I want to show you is the alignment. If you guys remember, we were talking about aligning strategy and execution. So here you can see the strategy and you can see the objectives and you can see the execution. Execution means it can be a project, it can be a product, it can be a program. So here you can see the way you are aligning it by you can put the strategy and you can put the objectives or the goals and you can put the projects, right? So you can define the layers and you can track these layers, you know, inside Clarity. So this is something that you are able to do that in Clarity, right? So you're monitoring it, you're managing it the way that you call it, right? You're monitoring the key results, you're monitoring the risks, you're monitoring the issues. So the data is basically getting rolled up inside the Clarity, right? In the hierarchy. So this is something else actually you are able to do that in Clarity, right? The other thing that I want to show you is the reporting one, right? So this is something we are moving away from the Jaspersoft, right? If you guys have used Clarity before, you would know what Jaspersoft is. But in a couple of years, Jaspersoft would be gone. So here we have come up with a new reporting engine where actually you can have the reporting on the portfolio level. So for example, if you are building a portfolio and if you want to look at the portfolio of by manager, if you want to by department portfolio or capital versus operating expenditure and all the projects inside the portfolio. So you are able to keep track of these KPIs. You are able to keep track of the resources which are delivering the tasks inside the portfolio for you, right? So you are able to keep track of those, you are able to keep track of the roles, you are able to keep track of the managers or allocations versus ETCs. You are able to check the risk on the portfolio level. So on the portfolio, what are the risks and who's working on that? What's the impact? So these types of dashboards you can reports you can do. You can schedule them. You can export that in PowerPoint, and things like that. So on a portfolio level, you can make dashboards or reports. If you want to, let's say, have some kind of financial information. So you can see all for this year, you have $2.34 billion worth of projects, that actually would be delivered for this year, by different people. And here you can see 1.8 million is already actuals already been there, right? Cost versus benefit, sponsor. So these different types of reports and dashboarding capabilities, they are new, existing in the system, in the Clarity system, right? So again, guys, there are many things that I can show you, right? Again, we talk about the value streams, we talk about the programs, we talk about the strategy. So you can define the value streams over here, right? Where you can define the objectives and the key results here. So here you have the objective and you have all the key results inside the objective. So all these different things that we have discussed, that I have shown you earlier in the presentation, whether it's a strategy, whether it's an objective or programs or features or portfolio, you can manage all of this in Clarity. Any type of work you can manage it, any type of time tasks you can manage it, and that linking to the strategy, to the program, to the execution is what you would do it, right? The last thing, since you asked about the Rally, the last thing I will show you is that the Rally data can also be funneled into Clarity, and you can see that from here. This is an example over here where actually you are seeing the data. Right, let me just double check from here. I think it's the another one. Just guys, give me 1 second. I'm just checking where we have the another one. So basically, what we have is we actually have some data that is important. So this is actually the project that you see over here. That actually data actually came out from Rally. All this actually came from Rally. You can see the staffing and you can see the financial information. Finance you will still keep track in Clarity, but here you can see in Rally you are able to go and you are able to keep track and you are able to define all this information that comes out actually from Rally itself, right? So Rally information can be ported into Clarity, right? And also the third-party system information can also be ported into Clarity. So these types of, as you can see, this is the integration. You can see this is where we are connecting to Rally. And we are syncing themes or epics or features and mappings. So all these are now part of Clarity and Rally that you guys can define and configure it inside that. But we will be doing a full demo of the Rally and presentation of the Rally in the future, right? So guys, that's it. That's all I want to cover today. I hope it was a fruitful session, but I will take any questions so far if you guys have any. This was a very high level demo, right? If you guys are interested in a deep dive demo, we can arrange a webinar only for the demo of Clarity, where we can spend 1 hour only showing you the Clarity use cases and features. And also we'll be doing one for Rally as well. So any questions, guys?
And as Mahak did, if you want to ask us verbally, raise your hand and I will unmute you.
Yeah, guys, don't be shy. You can ask. I mean, we can help you on this journey.
Okay, it seems no additional arrived, so we can close the session now. In the next few days, we will release the recorded version of this session. Thank you, Piyush. The presentation and the demo was useful. Thanks for the attention on the audience side. I hope the delivered content was useful. If you have additional questions, then I share my contact information on the webcam. Please read the QR code and contact with me. We can organize a session, a dedicated session, inviting Piyush or inviting another colleague from the team, and they can present for you one-on-one the solution. If you see any opportunity on the field, then feel free to contact with us and we can support you. We can do the demonstration, we can do the POC if it is necessary, so we can support you because you are the partner, and as a channel, we are here to support you. So thank you again. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.